Hello and welcome. Have you ever heard someone telling you that your Python code smells?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It means you're not writing them properly and you need more structure. However, writing good code is quite tricky. It takes time to improve. After several years of using Python, I figured out some tricks that help me structure my code. In this video, I will share with you 13 tips that help you write better Python code. These tips will definitely make you a better software engineer and you will no longer receive complaints from code reviewers. So without further ado, let's dive in. Number 1. Iterate with enumerate instead of using index. A lot of people, when they loop through arrays, they use for I in range length array, then access the element using the index. I was taught like this when I took my first Python course in college. However, this is no longer a good way to write your code. Instead, use for I num in enumerate array. The enumerate function allows you to access the index and evaluate that index at the same time. Number 2. Use zip to traverse through two arrays. Some people may say, oh, but I need the index to loop through two arrays at the same time. And my answer to that is, nope, you don't need that. To loop through two arrays at the same time, use zip instead. Let's say you have two arrays A and B. A has 5 strings represent people's names like Amy, Pop, Cindy, Daniel, and Alex. And B has 5 integers representing their salaries. You can use zip to loop through them at the same time, and you can match people's names with their corresponding salaries. Number 3. Format string with F string. A mistake many newbies make is that they concatenate string using the plus sign. That's a bad way to format strings in Python. Instead, use F string. So you put the F letter in front of the string and then insert dynamic values using curly braces. Number 4. Concatenate strings with join. Let's say you have an array of strings and you want to combine them into one single string. How can you do that? One way to do that is loop through the array and concatenate the string manually. This is a bad way to do this because strings are immutable. That means every time you use the plus operator, you create a new string. So in terms of memory management, this isn't good. Instead, use the join function. Specify the delimiter in this function and combine the strings together. Number 5. Use list comprehension instead of raw for loops. Many beginner courses teach students to use raw for loops to create a list and add elements to it. There's nothing wrong with that. The program still runs. However, it doesn't look clean. One replacement for this is to use list comprehension. So essentially, you should put the for loop inside the list instead of using a normal for loop. And boom, you get the exact same result. However, I only recommend you use this technique with one for loop. This technique on nested for loop makes the code hard to read. When you write your code, readability should be your priority. Number 6. Use built-in sorted function to sort iterables. Python offers a built-in sorted function to sort different iterables, including arrays and dictionaries. This function implements an algorithm called team sort, which runs in n-log n time. So its efficiency is similar to merge sort and quick sort. This fact can be useful when you practice coding interview questions. To sort an array, you can just call sorted and pass the array to the function. Sorted will return a new array for you. The default setting is ascending, which means you sort the array from low to high. You can also reverse the order by providing the argument reverse equals true. Sorted can also be used to sort a list of dictionaries. Let's say you have a list of 5 students and their corresponding GPAs. You want to get the student with the highest GPAs. So you can call sorted dit key equals lambda x square bracket GPA reverse equals true. So lambda expects a function with sorted use to tell which element should have higher priority. This line will return a list of dictionaries in which the first value is a student with the highest GPA. Number 7. Set default values in dictionaries with .get. When you work with dictionaries, One common case is when a user tries to access a key that doesn't exist. If you use the standard square brackets, Python will throw an error. To prevent this from happening, use the get function instead. The get function will return a default value if the key doesn't exist. That default value is automatically set to none. However, you can always provide this value in the get function. So for example, if I want to set the default value to 0, I can put it in the get function, and when I call a key that doesn't exist in the hash map, I get 0 back. Number 8. How to loop through a dictionary. I saw a lot of tutorials use for key in d.keys to loop through all the keys of a hash map. However, this isn't a recommended way to do it. You should use for key in d instead. In addition, if you only care about the values, you can use for value in d values or for key value in d.items. d.values return a list of values in the hash map, and d.items return a list of key value pairs. You can use these two constructs to perform tasks on a hash map. Number 9. Merge two dictionaries. There's an efficient way to merge two dictionaries. Let's say the first dictionary is 1122 and the second dictionary is 1133. You can use open bracket star d1 comma star d2 to combine these dictionaries together and create a single dictionary. The result could be a single dictionary 11, 22, and 33. So you can see that the common key 1 is merged together and the other two keys are picked up from both dictionaries. Number 10. Use collection.Counter to count the frequency of elements in an array. Let's say you have an array and you want to know which element is the most common element. One natural solution is to count the frequency of an array. You can create a for loop and do it, but a more convenient way is to use collections.Counter. You can pass the array in, and Python will return a counter object that contains the number as the key and the frequency as the value. You can also get the most common elements using most common function. This function returns a list of tuples where the first value is the number and the second value is the frequency of that number. Number 11. Store unique values with set. Set is a data structure that only stores unique values. So if you have an array with duplicate values, you can convert it to a set using the set constructor. So pass the array into the set. You can also create a new set from scratch by specifying the elements. You can see that even though I'm passing a lot of duplicate values here, the resulting set only contains unique values. Number 12. Use the with statement to open files. When dealing with files, one common mistake beginners often make is that they open and close files manually. Let's say you open a file, then write into it, and close the file. This works just fine if the write function works. Or if it doesn't work, then your close function will not close the file because it wasn't executed. Instead, use the with statement. This way, even though there's an exception, you can ensure your file is closed. Number 13. Use one-line if-else statement to assign variables. Let's say you want to assign a value of a variable x based on a certain condition. Instead of writing an if-else block, you can do a one-liner. X equals 1 if condition else 0. This is a more Pythonic way to enforce conditions to variables. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. That supports the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.